Welcome to Sleepless in St. Canard, where nostalgia replaces REM cycles. I'm Kitty.
And I'm Ange.
And we haven't slept
in 30 years.
This is a podcast about the 90s Disney cartoon Darkwing Duck, where the city water is as clean as a landfill, and the fish turn into women and sword fight you. And today's episode, something fishy.
Ooh, fish.
Fish. Sushi. I don't know. I got nothing.
Been a long time. It's been a very long time.
It's been 84 years. Welcome back to Sleepless in St. Canard.
The entire Darkwing Duck and Gargoyles comic crossover has started and ended in the time that we've been gone.
Oh my god, and what a ride it probably was.
We'll find out someday when we get there to talk about it.
Because I have no idea. It's still just on the horizon for me, but you know all.
I do. I think, I don't know, did you see any of the preview images? I think I sent you maybe one of, like, something from the comics. I'd have to check.
Probably. You've probably sent me some things. I don't remember them. So it's almost like I have a fresh little baby brain. Smooth. And ready for shaping into gargoyle / Darkwing Duck shapes.
Yeah, so when that time comes, but not today.
When that time comes. It's not today. Today, we're talking all fish all the time. But first, I believe you have news.
Yeah, just basic merchandise news. So, Darkwing Duck has shown up in the Disney Lorcana card game. They actually put out a lot of Darkwing Duck cards, like a lot of them, but they were so random. I forget the exact number, but it was like a lot of cards, but it was really funny for a while because they were just kind of randomly announcing them, and some of them were like the Space Cows from the episode Twin Beaks.
Twin Beaks.
Stegmutt, I believe, got a card. Somehow before most of the Fearsome Five.
The darling of Darkwing Duck.
We got Morgana. We got like several Morganas. We got several Negaduck cards. They're all really cool looking. We did get a Gizmo Duck card, which some of the designs seem to be more like the original 1991 designs, but then they also have DuckTales 2017 designs. For some of the characters.
Nice. Something for everybody.
Yeah, so kind of a mixture of the two.
I did see a couple of them in passing. Like, there's like a whole winter one. They're all wearing little coats and stuff.
Yeah, because it was for the winter spell deck. So we had everything from Dark Wolf Dog. We haven't covered that episode yet. That's Monsters R Us, where Darkwing was turned into like a werewolf dog.
Yep.
We've got the Space Cows. Oh, Liquidator did get a card. Taurus Bulba. Honker got a card.
Hell yeah. I think you sent that one to me directly, or like, observe the child.
Yes! I was so happy that Honker got a card. He deserves it. He worked hard.
Does.
Dark Warrior Duck got a card. Splatter Phoenix and Isis Vanderchill representing some of the evil ladies.
Nice.
Pretty nice, because, you know, they never really got that much attention in the show, so nice to see.
True.
And yes, Stegmutt, Drake Mallard as himself. Negaduck has, I don't know, I don't want to say winter-themed costume, but he's got a different costume in one of the cards. And Morgana had a really cute outfit. It was like a furry cloak with a little feather in her hair. I thought that looked really cool.
Yeah, she looked really cute.
And then there was another release for the next set of cards. I'm just checking what they were called because I forgot the name. I was really surprised because the first one they showed was Dr. Cerebellum. And I was like, oh, haven't seen her in a long time. I wasn't expecting her to get a card. I mean, I guess if the Space Cows could get a card, then why not?
Yeah, it really just kind of opened the gates. It's just like, they gave the cows a card. Who's next? Come on.
Okay, it's the Wilds Unknown deck. So Dr. Bellum and Goslin as the Quiverwing Quack.
Nice.
So I thought that was really cool. It looks to be some kind of jungle theme or like plants or something, because Goslin, she's Quiverwing Quack, but she's got a modified costume where her mask is made out of leaves.
Mm.
So that's pretty cool. So yeah, and the artwork for it is fantastic. So A+ to all the different artists that all got to do cards, because I think they look pretty good. I haven't had a chance to purchase any of these cards or the decks or booster packs or anything, so I do not have any of these cards in my possession. I know we have a store in my city that does sell them, but I just haven't had a chance to go down there and check them out. Honestly, if I had the chance, I know sometimes they'll sell the individual cards themselves. I would just pick and choose the Darkwing Duck cards rather than just buy the Lorcana deck, because I don't play.
Yeah.
Right? I would get it just for the Darkwing cards.
Yeah. They came out with the Final Fantasy Magic the Gathering crossover, and I just went on eBay and bought the individual cards that I wanted. I was like, I'll take one of this, and one of these, and one of those, and one of that.
Pretty much.
I want to make sure I get the ones that I want, because I'm not going to play this game, but I like that artwork, so I'll buy you tiny card.
I think in the long run, you'd probably save money as opposed to like mass buying a bunch of decks and getting doubles of a bunch of cards.
Yeah, buy a blind deck, and then get none that I want. That nothing sounds more infuriating to me ever. I wouldn't want any of the cards I got, probably, because I'm a snob.
That was like when they had those little Funko Pop keychains, and I think I kept getting Magicka Dispel instead of Morgana. No Morganas.
Lousy with Magickas. Your favorite.
Oh, I hate that. I hate that kind of stuff. I hate blind bag collection things. I know why they do it. I still don't like it. And I don't think, as far as I'm aware, I don't think Lorcana has the same problem as Pokemon cards, where there's scalpers that show up and they just clear out every store. We had like a Pokemon card crime ring that got busted in my area. It was like a whole thing.
Damn.
They take this stuff seriously.
Were they arrested by Officer Jenny?
Should have been. I say, like, Darkwing Duck fans are eating pretty good in terms of just merchandise. I saw something else recently. There was a partnership. I just posted this today. I don't know how to pronounce the name of this brand. It looks like the word results, except RSVLTS. Risvolts?
Okay.
I don't know. Anyways, they did a collection with Disney, and you can get like a Darkwing Duck button-up shirt.
Yes,
right?
so I was looking at those earlier. There was some shorts if you want to have Darkwing on your shorts.
But he's got Darkwing's face, and it says 91.
91.
And there's a hat.
Yeah, so you could basically get like a full Darkwing outfit if you really wanted to show up at the next function.
Yes.
Fashionably.
But this stuff is $100 Canadian, so I'm not going to purchase any of it. But I mean, as far as Darkwing merchandise goes, I think it's better than some of the stuff in the past where he'll have an orange neck or like random miscoloring and stuff like that in some of the previous, or it's like the merchandise is like the same 3 stock images and it never changes.
Yeah. Honker holding on to Goslin.
Yep.
She's going to clobber somebody.
Looking at these, they seem to be like, some of them are still stock images, but they're at least different ones. They even got Megavolt on one of the Disney Afternoon shirts with Bonkers and Goslin and Gizmo Duck.
Ta-da! Look at that.
$97 Canadian, though. Good God.
That's fashion, baby.
Fashion for the fashion forward. So, all that stuff is out there. Also, there might still be a Darkwing Duck reboot. We'll never know. Or maybe we will someday.
By the time we record our next episode, the entire first season will be out.
Oh, no. But yeah, that is all the, like, duck-related news. If you or somebody has purchased any of this merchandise, you should write in to us and give us your personal review. Do you like the quality?
Oh, yeah.
Is there something that you wish you would see in the form of Darkwing Duck merchandise? Tell us all about it at sleepless.stcanard. That's stcanard@gmail.com. Email will also be in the show notes.
There you go. So, merchandise sometimes doesn't sell, and then it turns into garbage. and then garbage ends up on beaches. That's how we connect us back to today's episode, Something Fishy. Back in the day, kids, in the late 90s, or early 90s, late 80s, kids were on the receiving end of a fire hose blast of environmentalism with things like today's episode. Fern Gully, The Last Rainforest, Rescuers Down Under, Captain Planet, just like so many hard-hitting lessons about how we only have one planet and we have to take care of it. And that's why Earth today is so unpolluted and there are no negative human impacts at all on all the beautiful branches of nature. It's going great, 90s. It's going really great. Fern Gully really changed the hearts of the evil corporations and overdevelopment. It's going fabulous. But that's what our today's episode is, and it's a weird one in that context, I think. And I don't really know how effective it is, but we're gonna dive right in here, dive into this landfill, along with the household of Avian Way, as our episode opens on a beach of questionable cleanliness, as Launchpad, Goslin, and Drake march over some dunes for a day in the sun. Everybody is donned out in their beach fits. They're kind of interesting. Launchpad is wearing a green crop tank top and some shorts. Goslin is in kind of like a basketball uniform. She's got shorts on and a tank top shirt, but it's all baggy. And she's got like a little pink star on her chest. And Drake is in a super bright striped tank top and shorts. And even just them walking across the dunes, like the dunes are just not a appealing color. It's like used cat litter brown. Drake is bringing up the rear. He's the pack mule, carrying everybody's beach gear. And of course, there's a lot of gear to carry, because why do anything half-assed when you can be the full ass? He trips on a glass bottle and falls down the dune to make a point about the garbage. And I don't really think we ever see them set up anything. They had a lot of stuff in their hands, and I think really the only thing we see is Drake laid out on a beach towel. But anyway, there's lots of garbage on the beach. It's basically.
Oh,
and the
hang
next
on.
scene is launch.
Hang on,
Sure.
Kirby's coming. I forgot to turn him off. Kirby is our robot vacuum. Can you hear it?
No.
I'm sending
I'll
Kirby
hear him
home.
now.
Kirby was coming towards us because he's
Well,
set.
that his name is Kirby.
Yeah, that's what I named him. And the map.
That's perfect.
The map is named Kirby's Dreamland on my thing. But yeah, Kirby is programmed to come into my room at 6:30 p.m. and do vacuuming. So I just sent him home because there's an app on my phone that does it for me. Sorry for the interruption, Kirby.
Okay. He's like, did somebody say garbage? So then the next scene is Launchpad fishing off a pier, and there's just a full-ass factory behind him in the distance, just billowing out black smoke. And he's, fishing. He's got his fishing pole, and I was really expecting him to catch just some kind of like three-eyed fish, but he just catches a tire. And he's pretty excited about it. Seems like he's going to keep it, and he just kind of tosses it over his shoulder, and it lands on Drake, who is spread-eagled on that beach towel. Goslin then wanders over to him and just dumps a bunch of garbage on Drake. And she's demanding answers from him about the cleanliness of the beach, or how nasty it is.
What has happened to the beach, Dad? There's so much junk I can't even find the sand. Have you ever seen trash like this in your life?
Not since the last time I was in your room.
Hey, my room happens to be what we call organized chaos, but this is serious damage and environmental pollution.
Goslin, I think you are, as always, overreacting.
Overreacting? Who's overreacting? This place is disgusting. It's revolting. It's a blight on the face of the planet Earth.
Now, it's just a little litter.
And surprisingly, we get that Drake is going like, hey, you're overreacting, which is an interesting choice to have them seemingly swap stances on dirtiness. But I suspect it's just the children being responsible to clean up the mess their parents made of the planet. It's going great. Anyway, Goslin sets out to clean up the beach, but in a very Goslin way by not actually cleaning anything, but looking for littering beachgoers to yell at. And she doesn't really have to look very far to see some guy just eating like a full thing of chicken on the beach and just throwing his stuff all over the place as he eats the pieces of chicken. So in retaliation, she picks up a trash can barrel thing and is about to dump it on him. But Drake runs over and grabs it. He's just holding it over his head. And he starts to scold her, but she runs off in the middle of him talking to go get revenge on somebody else that she sees. And of course, he just kind of drops the garbage on the dude anyway. And this guy's, of course, naturally a huge, muscular, pig-looking guy. And then he just gets up in Drake's face and crams him face first into the sand. His little feet are sticking out like a flappy propeller. And Launchpad plucks him free. Goslin tries to tell him that they have to be tough on polluters. And Drake counters that there's already laws against pollution. And that should be enough when a crab throws a piece of trash at him. What a sentence. A mini battalion of crabs march into action. They march forward, by the way. Not the traditional sideways crab walk. And they start throwing all the crap on the beach at anyone that they can see. And Drake finds himself crawling with crabs and starts yelling at their general. He's like this little crab guy who's got sunglasses on, and like a general hat, a pipe, and he's got a whistle around his neck. And they all look kind of like Sebastian from The Little Mermaid. Mm-hmm. Well, anyway, General Crabman. In a genius move, he grabs General Crabman and holds him up to his face to demand that the attack be called off. And he's holding the little guy at the perfect height for this little dude to just clamp his bill with a claw. So that's what he does. As Drake tries to deal with that, Launchpad points out a bigger problem as they call it an octopus, but it's just kind of like a generic bulb-headed thing with like a beak. And do octopuses have beaks? Or are they squids?
I want to say both.
Okay.
I'm going to Google that. It tried to fill in 3 hearts. Octopuses have hard parrot-like beaks made of chitin located in the center of their arms. It is the only hard part of their body.
And there you go. Octopus. We'll call it an octopus. They call it an octopus. He doesn't look like a real one, but we're going to deal with it.
Does he have 8 arms?
I didn't count them. He puts them to use immediately, though. He uses all those arms to just pick up trash cans off the beach, brush them up into a ball, and then throw them at that factory, and the ball of trash cans gets stuck in the chimney thing, smokestack, I don't know what you want to call it, and the whole thing just explodes. Like, there must be so many casualties in this episode that they just don't even acknowledge, because this is the first of many catastrophes to happen. Drake now assumes that the octopus is the leader and decides it's time for Darkwing. He makes his transformation by closing a beach umbrella on himself, then opening it again and being Darkwing. Worth noting, I don't think that is their beach umbrella, so I don't know if that means that he had it stashed in his pocket or if he just keeps Darkwing Duck costume stashed into random beach umbrellas in the eventuality that he'll be beach ready one day. We get our I am the terror of the episode, which is I am the smoke that smokes smoked oysters, which was kind of weak. And he runs out onto the pier to yell at the octopus, and a whale sneaks up behind him and eats him. As these things happen in Darkwing Duck. Of course, he is not dead, and he uses his gas gun on smog setting to make the whale sneeze him out, and he winds up ass deep in the sand again. Offshore, someone does some tootin' on a shell. All the ocean creatures hightail it out of there. Darkwing decides to get back to Darkwing Tower to launch a proper investigation. I don't know really why, because they are where the crime happened, but whatever. He's poring over his files as we get back to Darkwing Tower, and he just can't seem to figure out who the baddie behind it could be, as it doesn't match any of their MOs. Goslin says that she doesn't think it's a bad guy because they were cleaning up the ocean. But Darkwing isn't having it because he's the only hero around here, so he decides to meet whoever it is out on the water, and somehow they get a little boat him and Launchpad are just out on a little boat in the middle of the bay, presumably. And Goslin is really like gung-ho that this isn't a bad guy for no apparent reason other than it fits the narrative of the story.
Mm-hmm.
Because all these things that are happening are just kind of like things have attacked them basically nonstop. Nonstop since those crabs came out of the water. Where if it was any other episode, she'd be like, you know, let's have a fish fry or something. But no, she's like, maybe all humans should die. I don't know. Maybe we are killing the planet. So anyway, on the little boat on the water, a swordfish pops out of the water and cuts a little hole in the boat. The Darkwing then accuses it of being the ringleader, and it just kind of flops back into the water. And that's his grand thing. And Neptunia pops through the hole, and as she does so, her super jazzy music starts blaring, and I don't know if it was just the version I was watching, but that jazz comes in hot and loud. Like, we ordered the big-lipped fish lady, and a 1, 2, 3, 4. Whoa. Damn, Neptunia, okay. And she's cute. I feel like we've talked about her appearance before. She's cute. She's like, I don't know if she's really giving fish, but she's just kind of like a human, like a short human-shaped creature. She's green. She's got a pink fin on her head, big pink lips, and she's wearing kind of like a unitard, and she's got little flippers and stuff. I don't know. She's a pretty cute-looking character. Weird for this show. Like, I don't think that she matches anything else in the show, but I don't know. Thoughts on Neptunia?
She's okay. I mean, as a character, we only really saw her in Justice Ducks and Something Fishy. So she didn't really have much beyond that in terms of interesting premise. But I mean, I know like her origin story, I guess you will get to that part because it plays into her design. But she is essentially a fish.
Yeah, like she's not like a mermaid.
No, I mean, she's okay. Like, I remember as a kid not really caring either way about her.
Yeah. We're just like, enough with this chick. Where's Morgana?
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, so you're the one behind it all. Oh, why do I bother?
Sorry about the hole. I was trying for a dramatic entrance.
Just what do you think you're doing?
Honey, that's precisely what I came to ask you.
It is?
Listen, you're the one who gave my whale a sneezing fit, aren't you?
Was that, or get the full tour of his digestive tract?
That wasn't very nice, you know. The boy's already got a sinus condition as it is.
Let me see here. Aha! Now I know! My keen crime fighter's instincts tell me you're behind the aquatic uprising.
Honey, you're more fun than a barrel of sea monkeys. Of course I'm the one.
Darkwing finally puts together that Neptunia is the one who is calling the fishy shots, and she just kind of throws him. She literally just like picks him up and chucks him, and that's pretty great. And then she laughs and tells him to back off. Darkwing takes it well and tells her that he's the one that gives the orders around here and tries to take her in, quote unquote. I don't know where he's taking her to. And she pins him to the boat with starfish ninja stars and hops back in the water. We have a lot of costume changes in this episode because Launchpad and Darkwing chase after her in diving gear that they have, and he realizes too late that his gas gun will not work underwater, and she tells him that she'll give him one more chance to back off, and he's like, I don't know the meaning of the word surrender or something like that, and she's just like, oh, illiterate, huh? Well, that explains a lot. Oh. She's very quick with the put downs. I like that.
The burns.
Yes, she's a good thing she's underwater, or Darkwing's underwater with all the burns that he gets in this episode. She toots her conch. How do we say that kind of shell?
Yeah, I would say it's a conch shell.
Alright, she toots it. Again, octopus guy looms up on them and grabs them. There's also like a few times before we go to commercial where like scenes go on too long. Like, Darkwing and Launchpad being manhandled by this octopus goes on for a really long time. Like, we're like, oh my god, they're gonna die. We go to commercial, and then, like, we come back from commercial, and Neptunia's like, hey, don't kill him. I want to take him back to my lair. And we're like, okay. So she brings them back to her lair, and she's restrained them with lobsters. But like lobster handcuffs, so the lobsters are just kind of hanging onto their wrists, and I love that. That's, I think, one of my favorite things in the whole episode.
Very creative.
I love it. She brings them to a part of her little underwater cove that's filled with trash, and shoves them in there, and has some electric eels form bars. Obviously, she's mad because the people of St. Canard have been dumping their trash in the ocean. And Darkwing is giving her a lip, and she just keeps dumping more trash on him whenever he starts mouthing off. And it's a perfect move. Absolutely inspired. All the people I would dump trash on if I had that trash button. She takes this time to give us her little origin story, and basically it's exactly what you think it would be. She was mutated by toxic waste. I mean, she tells a longer version of it, but that's really all. It's really all it is. Like, this is one of those scenes where I'm just kind of like, okay, all right, we get it. Like, it's kind of like, she's kind of doing like a detective noir, like, Delau was swimming through the ocean, and I saw some new friends, but they weren't really friends, they were barrels of toxic sludge. One of those friends hit me right on the head. It's like, what? Okay. So, yeah, and then she turned into a fish person. That's it, really. So that's why she's pissed at the surface dwellers. And Drake's reply to her story is piffle. Which I love. And then she dumps more trash on him, which I also love. Launchpad promises to pick up the trash, and she says it's too late, and she's going to flood the city and clean it up herself. She leaves them behind and has her whale guy just kind of like move an island. He just kind of headbutts an island until it moves. For reasons that are kind of explained in a bit. Darkwing and Launchpad have a bit of back and forth about how destroying the city is not really the answer to pollution, and eventually they get out of their holding cell by Darkwing throwing a steel pipe at the eels. Guess it was a bit of an eel pipe, too.
Womp womp.
Back out in the open water, they're cornered by swordfish, and Darkwing defeats them by unplugging his and Launchpad's breathing tubes and shoving them into the fish's mouths and inflating them like balloons. Neptunia is tooting away, laughing to herself, and the whale is pushing that island basically through some waterways until it clogs, I guess, something in the bay that then dams up the water. So now she's legitimately flooding the city. Darkwing and Launchpad make it back home and are helping Goslin out onto the roof so that she doesn't die. And she says that Darkwing ought to be helping Neptunia help flood the city, and he's not having it. I guess Goslin is now secure on the roof of a house alone, so they hop back into the water into a submarine they now suddenly have and track down Neptunia. So they never talk about like anybody else in the city. They never show anybody like swimming or in boats or anything. So I guess everybody was just out that day as the city flooded.
I guess, yeah, because it would be such a pain to have to draw and animate all those people suffering, I guess.
It's like one poorly drawn like dog man getting washed away or something. But all we get is like houses, like Goslin's on the roof of a house, but we don't know if the Muddlefoots make it. Like, we don't see anybody. So they track Neptunia down, and she's tooting away on her little shell. And Darkwing is like, I'm going to record it so that we can play it backwards and reverse the whale's order so they undo what they did. And Launchpad's like, wow, that's great. Let me push this button. And it starts playing the song that she was just playing. And so that immediately tips off the octopus and Neptunia. And they go over, and the octopus squeezes the sub so hard that Darkwing... And also worth noting, the submarine is shaped like Darkwing's head, because of course it is. So when he squeezes it, Darkwing and Launchpad shoot out of its mouth, out of the water, into the sky, over the city, and into another little island that is now suddenly by the city. There's a lot of little islands by the city in this episode. Neptunia also appears there basically instantly and has a swordfish fight with Darkwing, which he actually legitimately wins. pretty easily. And then he smashes her shell.
Uh-oh.
That he then and then he demands that she undo the damage that she's done, and she says nah. Launchpad appeals to her and makes her see that there are actually good people who want to help the environment in the city too, and they're being hurt by her actions, and she has a change of heart, but can't call the hit off because her shell is broken. Darkwing says that they could have used the recording he made in the sub, but it sunk, so she swims down and plays it, and the whale then unsticks that little island he had used to dam up the bay and flood the city, and the water instantly drains away from St. Canard.
Everything's just going to be very moldy now.
Yeah, it's just nice and clean. Darkwing and the gang are on the beach now, and he has to begrudgingly thank Neptunia for not drowning them all, and she admits that there may be some things worth saving there. Launchpad vows to clean up the beach / the world, who knows, himself if he has to. Goslin forces Darkwing to give Neptunia a new conch shell that looks like her old one that he found at some point, I guess, after we last saw them, and she gives him a big old kiss before jumping back in the water. Goslin wishes out loud that Neptunia had basically drowned the city. Teach them all a lesson. She's got some bloodlust in this episode. And Darkwing is mid like violence isn't the answer lesson, and then sees that same pig guy from earlier slopping it up on the beach, and he storms over and crams a trash can on his head with like a snide little comment about litter bugs. And that's the end of our episode.
Doodly doodly doo.
Doodly diddly do. So I would say for me, this ranks about a 2 out of 5 on the Quackerware freshness scale. How about you?
I'd give it like a 2.5 out of 5. I mean, it's one of those episodes where in the end, Neptunia really wasn't a bad guy. She was more of an anti-hero. So it was basically just a big misunderstanding for the whole episode. And beyond that, there isn't really much else.
Yeah, it is very much like one note. But I've been like, I don't know, because even her, she is kind of villainy. Like she I think gets farther in destroying St. Canard than 90% of the other villains.
Amazing.
You know? So like she's pretty effective, and she's just like, but also without the pollution she wouldn't exist. So doesn't she just hate herself?
Food for thought.
Yes. And she's fun, but I don't think that she's fun enough to carry an episode. Nothing really stands out to me personally here. It's more of a just like the Save the Earth Kids episode, which fair, but maybe Goslin was onto something.
Maybe
we should have followed Goslin around, because she also was in it for, she was in it for a bit, but they benched her pretty quick.
Yeah, because it was mostly underwater Drake and Launchpad adventures.
Yeah. Oh, and there was when they were fighting the swordfish, or when the swordfish were about to fight them under the water, Darkwing is like, "Oh, Dangerous is my middle name," and Launchpad is just kind of like, "We wait until now for me to find out that your middle name is Dangerous." It was, I guess, good for the Launchpad Drake fans, but overall, it was okay. It's not one that I'm gonna rewatch a bunch. Yeah, I think I like her better in Justice Ducks.
Yeah, she's able to bounce off the other characters a bit more.
Yeah, and she's got more gags. I feel like she, other than her, smart mouth, in Justice Duck, she just keeps pulling people out of the water, and she's like, "Is this yours?" Which is funny. But I do love that she was just dumping trash on Darkwing. That was a highlight. But yeah, I mean, nothing about this one is just kind of like, oh my god, this is my favorite episode. It lacks that panache. And it was weird that it was Darkwing being like, whatever, trash is fine, considering what a neat freak he is.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess I know why they did it, to make it me like, well, no, the kids should be more invested in this, because then the kids will want to be invested in cleaning up beaches or whatever. And then Goslin, like when she was like, "Oh, I'm gonna clean up the beach," she had like the little stick for like poking garbage and stuff on it and stuff, and then she immediately was just like, "Hey, guy, I'm gonna dump some garbage on you." she fought garbage with garbage at every opportunity that she could. She started the trend, I guess, of dropping garbage on Drake in this episode, so I guess the real hero all along was Goslin, but we did know that already.
Mm-hmm.
Any final thoughts for Something Fishy?
Not really. I mean, it is an origin episode for Neptunia, I guess. So in terms of what little continuity the show has, if you want to know who Neptunia is, because she only really shows up in Justice Ducks, and they don't really explain her beyond that. So this is just the episode where if you're wondering who this is the episode where you're like, oh, okay, I get it now. But other than that, yeah, it's not really an episode I'd watch a lot either.
But then we watched it, and now you guys don't have to. Or you can if you want to relive the 90s nostalgia of someone telling you to take care of the planet, and then dumping garbage on you.
I seem to recall, at least when I was a kid, it was always about the hole in the ozone layer. But also, I remember watching Captain Planet, and I remember actually very much enjoying it, so...
Oh yeah, I used to love Captain Planet too, run around with all the rings. Sometimes you just had to be like Thanos and take all the rings from your cousin because he had all the action figures and wear all the rings at once, and then that made you Captain Planet. I don't know, that's a very specific example, but...
Didn't Captain Planet also have like an evil twin that was kind of like a Negaduck reverse color?
Yeah, I think so.
I gotta look that up.
Yeah, I think it was... Yeah, there's a lot of research going into this episode, guys.
Oh, and he's even yellow and red. Captain Pollution.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, evil twins were also kind of a thing in a lot of 90s shows back then. So Negaduck fits in.
100%. If there was a show, there was either a doppelganger or an evil twin episode. Even Steve Urkel had one.
Really?
Well, I mean, he had the Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde version of Stefan Urkel.
Oh, interesting.
He was suave. There we go, everybody. The 90s. What a time. I'm sure glad that was the end of the environmental crisis. But, so, I don't have the wheel pulled up, so what are we going to do next time?
I believe we were in the middle of the comics. We still need to wrap up the last Negaduck arc, like for the Negaduck comic. We've got, I think it's issue 4. And we also have, the new Darkwing Duck series by Mr. Kibblesmith.
Yes.
Which it was paused while they did the Gargoyles and Darkwing Duck crossover. And it is supposedly going to resume soon-ish. So we've only covered, I want to say like one or two issues. So one of those comics we will talk about next time. It'll be a surprise, I guess, which one it is.
That's it. The wheel is ourselves this time, whatever we feel like doing.
Yeah, and I think the wheel itself is pretty low on episode.
I think it was down to like brass tacks. Like, I think it was 2 terrible things.
Excellent.
Two terrible things that I will have to find and populate again.
Most excellent.
Yay. Alright, well, until then, friends, take care of yourselves. Only you can prevent forest fires, and remember that crime doesn't sleep, and neither do I.
Keep taking care of the planet. Don't use AI if you can help it, because man, those centers that they set up that use a lot of water, they're predicting like a water crisis. Just another thing to worry about in the future. So yeah, do your best.
Planeteers, you can be one too. Saving our planet is the thing to do.